Welcome back to South Black Men. I am Drake. I am here with James and IT. Today, we'll talk about athletes' mental health, a crisis in finding identity and self worth, culture, how do coaches affect mental health, expectations, and more. Before we begin, if you are a person dealing with mental health problems, I understand how exhausting it can be. If you need help, please talk to someone, specifically a professional. But shit, you can reach out to us three if you don't feel like spending that therapist money. Let's go ahead and dive into this topic. How does identity with being an athlete affect one health? Who are you without the sport? Begin with you, IT.
All right, bet. So how does the identity of being an athlete? So like, it's it's kind of like the stereotype of an athlete for people who aren't athletes is like athletes are very privileged. Like athletes are entitled, kind of cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially basketball players. Like we kind of have a bad rep for that, but aside from that, like it's a lot that goes on uh, within the sport behind closed doors that I feel like athletes don't talk about, basketball players don't talk about. But how does the identity affect one's health? I feel like I don't know if it's the identity that affects someone's mental health, but for me, I feel like it's just the mental strain of the things like the work that you got to do and the work you got to put in outside of it um, as well.
I hear you. I was when I did mean like identity, I was more so meaning like, let's say you're in the middle of your playing career and you have a season ending injury. You're out for like a year. Do you like spiral? Like, would you spiral? Who are you without being on that court? Like, who are you without being on the field, the track, things like that?
I feel like that's some a lot of athletes, especially collegiate athletes, go through, like finding themselves, um, finding out who they are without the sport. Some people that I know that have quit or like just decided, not just to discontinue playing. Uh, they just it takes time, but they find interest in other things. They find other things they're passionate about. Um, so I feel like eventually that will happen, or that does happen to a lot of athletes. Like they kind of get stuck sometimes even while they're playing, but most times like after they're done playing, is like, who am I without track? Who am I without football? Who am I without basketball? So
Okay. And James, how does identity being an athlete affect one's health? And who are you without the sport?
Uh, One thing I say about a lot of athletes is that for so many athletes, the only place they receive love is in their sport, and I that's what I think makes people really spiral when their playing career comes to an end, because it's so funny, bruh.
Smiling,
Are you
watching you
just
talk.
smiling? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
bro,
my
come on,
fault,
man.
my fault, my fault. I'm uneasy right now, but.
Touchy subject, huh? Touchy subject.
Ugh. But no, but it's no real shit though. It's a lot of athletes don't receive love in other aspects of life, right? A lot of athletes when they come home, they don't get love, or they don't get appreciation for their test scores. or what they might have done in art class, music class, right? But it's more about, did you drop 20? Did you drop that 30 ball? And when they play well, it's so much love, right? And when they don't perform, there might be love that's more of like, all right, like you got this, like you can bounce back, right? And so a lot of times we don't really prepare people for that transition stage of when the ball stops bouncing, or you know what I mean. There's, you have that injury, you can't play anymore. You don't get that offer to play at the next level. And so, with me personally, it was my first year of college. I didn't play. Like I played high school. I was burnt out, so I decided not to play. And my freshman year of college was like, it was boring because like I didn't have that sport. It was boring, and on top of that, it was like, I didn't know, what, if I wanted to join clubs or, what type of friends I was going to hang out with. So I ended up joining the club basketball team. And I just ended up playing more basketball, and I was like, dude, if I'm going to play basketball and sit here and practice and work out all the time, I might as well go JUCO and get my tuition paid. And so it's like, for me, it was so ingrained in my identity. I didn't know how to be without basketball. Now, I this year I forego playing this year, and I left the team, and now I feel at a better place because I've been able to identify things outside of basketball that I truly do love, and things that people that are really important to me, they appreciate my work outside of basketball, right? Like when I go and do a panel and it sells out, right? Or when my professors see the work I'm doing, or my girlfriend sees the work, my parents see the work that I'm doing, whether it's in my history realm or it's in the education realm, they show their gratitude. And it's just, that's not the case for all athletes. So,
Indeed.
Yeah. Do you think relationships changed when you decided to resign from the team this year? Did it seem like anybody stopped liking you? Did anybody really just stop trying to kick it with you?
that's it's crazy because I talked to my girlfriend about this once, and I'll go back a little further in the past, right? When people would quit, and like I was on the team, right? High school, JUCO, in college, right? People would quit, and I kind of would be like, depending on who they were, sometimes like if I wasn't really cool with them, like I wouldn't talk to them because they quit. And then this year, now we.
Yo, fam,
Dog, what the fuck?
keep it in, bro. Just keep it rolling. Keep the talking, bro. See, this the issue trying to record and being
Nah,
productive while in college, bro. This the problem.
You gotta go, bro.
Bro, athletes' mental health don't matter. It doesn't matter.
And clearly it doesn't.
This thing his ass get nervous and shit.
But yeah. So
So, I definitely was part of the like, oh, his ass quit, bro. Like, he don't really fuck with us. And so this year, I ended up being the person that, October came around. I'm like, bro, this is not like, I think I can be doing more.
You ain't really fuck with us, bro. You ain't fuck with us, James. You ain't fuck with us, James.
Yeah, come on now. Chill. So I'm expecting once I I quit, like, bro, they not gonna fuck with me. They not gonna talk to me. And this year's team, bro, they still fuck with me. They still talk to me. Like, I can still go over the house. You know what I mean? Like, I cut some of their hair. I can go over there, walk in, and just talk to them, chill. I was over there the other day, and it's like they still accept me as if, I'm on the team. And so that was a weird experience because it wasn't what I expected, and it's also not what I have done in the past. Right? No, it would depend on who quit and how they quit, but yeah, for sure, it's
Yeah,
that was a lesson that I learned.
it probably helps with you being and just a great guy. Just that probably helped. I'm sure probably people that were probably didn't speak up that much or try to even build relationships probably didn't have a good experience when their time with the sport finished.
Yeah,
But
that's fair. It's a good
yeah,
observation, Drake.
hey, I observe and shit. I got that observation hockey. Shout out One Piece. Um,
Mm.
anyway, so move on. As a student athlete, I know it was easy in high school. I didn't go to the collegiate level. I decided to move to California and kick it with my lady. But I'm assuming it got a lot harder moving up to college. How did you guys handle balancing sports, life, and school? IT.
You gotta just honestly, like, I just try not to let it overwhelm me. Like, the only thing like really balancing, the only thing hard about it was balancing school, because basketball was my life. Like, that was my life. So it's like, there's no problem balancing basketball with life, because shit, that's my life. Like, when I'm not doing anything, I'm in the gym, or like, you know what I'm saying, if I ain't got any schoolwork, I ain't got any homework, I'm in the gym. So it's like, there was times where I might step out, spend time, friends, family, things that things of that nature in the past. But like, as far as balancing everything, you just try to be strategic with your time, be intentional with your time. Make sure when you actually getting stuff done, you getting it done. You're not fucking around, and that's really it for real.
Yeah, so you full on had a man ball is life, man.
Yeah, bro, I was
Man,
I
ball.
was into
All I do
it.
is ball, man.
All I do is
I hear you.
ball, man.
What about you, James? I know you being friends with you a very long time, you always wanted to become an educator, even while, pursuing basketball. And realistically, you did not think you were going to the NBA. And I know that you said you didn't want to play overseas as well. So I know you had to balance school, like have a real balance with it. How did you handle that?
Hey, no women. That's number one. All right. Hey, my 2 years at JUCO, bro, it was basketball and hoops, bro. So, IT, why you looking? Why you looking like that, bro?
This
For
guy's
me
terrible with the
personally,
ladies.
bro, truthfully, I've never been, you know, I've never been, 99 overall with the ladies. You know what I mean? That took time to even get to that world of being able to conversate with the other gender. But no, in JUCO it was just, dude, I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. Like, and then, like, my tuition was getting paid for, so it was really just go to class, go to practice, and do it all over again. Like, I wasn't fucking around with, trying to chase women. Um, I had like a little part time job, but I wasn't working a lot to make money. So it was like, also on top of that, not really having talking to a whole bunch of women. It's like sometimes you just broke, and that's sometimes the reality of like being a college athlete, and it gets tough because you're just broke, because your job is your sport, because that you're getting paid, right? Now we can get into why, like, when I got to D3, and I'm like, bro, this shit don't even make no fucking sense. Like, I'm not getting no money for my sport. Why the fuck am I sitting here treating it like a job? Like, so, but in JUCO, it was definitely, I prioritized school and basketball, and then I wasn't getting no haircuts. I mean, you guys, Drake, you've seen pictures, and I
Yes.
don't know if you've seen the pictures, IT,
Brother. Nah,
but
I've
like,
seen firsthand.
dog, no cut, no cut. I'm talking about just everything's just. I got like a bush on my head, and then it's all messy beard, and but it was just like I was so locked in, and I definitely JUCO's a struggle, right? Because no one dreams about going JUCO. You know what I mean? No one wakes up in middle school. I'm gonna go JUCO. Like no one does that. You know, everyone's the Dukes, the North Carolina, Michigan, the blue, the bloods, right? But JUCO's a struggle, and you play against all types of different levels. Like the other teams you're gonna play against are gonna have D1, D2s, D3s. You know what I mean? And it's just if you really want to make it out of JUCO, you really do gotta prioritize your sport because back-to-back nights you're gonna play against D1 guys, right? And then yeah, you might have a easy day where you might play a team where none of those guys play in the next level. Shout out Oakton, my guys. Stat pad game, but but yeah, it's for me. It was really just I just prioritized. You know, I was isolated in a way. Like the only people I was really cool with were I had a professor, but it was really just my teammates. But once I got to Aurora University, and I really saw like, I'm not really getting money for this. I kind of opened up that portfolio of just being able to talk to people, connect with different people. So,
Indeed.
I hear you. Yeah, nobody's like, hey man, I can't. I want to play with the Ivy Tech trees. You know, nobody's going JUCO or even Jimmy from D3. You know, I hear you on that. How do y'all think expectations from your teammates, coaches, the overall culture of the school, and also the viewers, the fans? How do you guys think the expectations from all of those affect your playing and your performance, or just how you are mentally? IT.
I feel like to start off, I want to say something real quick. It's a quote from Brittany Griner, and she said that we don't talk about things, we just put it in a box. So like, even myself, bro, like I might be having issues with the pressure from having to perform well for my team, for my family, for anybody who expects like a good performance from me. It creates a lot of like anxiety or a lot of just like questioning myself. And then like, what do I do with that? I'm not telling nobody. Why am I telling people? I'm gonna put it in a box and I'm gonna go play. You feel me? I'm gonna take the criticism. I'm gonna take everything people are saying, or I'm gonna take that pressure and just kind of play through it. And I mean, that's obviously not the right thing to do. It's like it's not good for your mental at all, because if you just bottle things up like that, eventually you gonna crash out, bro. Like you gonna crash out in practice on somebody. Your teammates gonna be wondering what's wrong with you, and it's just like that's just kind of what happens. And that's a lot of athletes.
Man, how many times I seen James laugh when you said crash out on your teammates? How many times you crash out on a teammate, IT, from all that pressure being built up, Having all that pressure, built up in that box, like you were saying, like you're bound to implode.
Brother.
On yourself and others. Pause.
I done probably crashed out like 10 times, bro. I done crashed out enough times, bro. But it's like, it comes out in different ways, bro. Like, people don't understand. It could be verbal, it could be physical. Like, it could be just like, where's IT? He ain't going to practice today? It could be that. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, you feel like coming to practice today? Like, so it's like, yeah, that's really what it is.
I hear you. And James, man, what about you? Expectations from teammates, coaches, overall culture of the school, Uh, and fans, man, how is it affecting you?
My fault. I missed the mute button. Um, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Bro, some of these college coaches, bro, like some of them make you want to grab a chair and really knock them across the head, bro. Like,
Steve.
th- like there's moments, bro, where it's like them niggas will show up to just fuck with you, and like you just gotta sit there and take it. And I will say this, like in college, I was able to notice when like a coach was like just picking on someone or picking on, me for example, that day or that week or that month. But high school, bro. So we had Coach Elliott in high school. And like, bro, like I don't think he's a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? Much respect to him. But he just sometimes he says some very harsh shit. You know what I mean? Sometimes he really gets on your ass, man. And I think that definitely did mold me into my future experiences with different teams. So I had Coach Elliott my first 3 years of high school, and then he left, and we got a new coach for my senior year. But then I went on to play for COC. I had Coach Bowen, and then at Aurora University, I played for Steve. And Bowen has this history of, to give him some context, he has a history of like throwing chairs at players and shit. Like that was his history as like a high school coach. So like he's kind of known to kind of like to, it reminds me of like Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight was throwing chairs and shit. You know what I mean? That's what like Bowen kind of has. He was a JUCO coach. So it's when I got there and I heard the stories and stuff like that. I was well prepared for his shit just because of Elliot, to be honest. And then Steve really wasn't like when it comes to crazy. Like Bowen and Elliot are in their own tier, but coaches will drive you fucking crazy. I like fans. Fans are gonna talk shit. You can have a winning season, they'll still talk shit. You have a losing season, they're gonna talk shit. Like fans, really, who gives a fuck? Your teammates, if you have a good culture or like you have good relationship with your teammates are usually gonna be the ones that are gonna keep you going. They're gonna keep you sane. You know what I mean? Like last year I crashed out. IT crashed out. A handful of us crashed out. And like, bro, I don't even be crashing out. Like I'm not even a crash out individual. But last year sent me over the edge, bro.
He just don't care, man. He don't care about us, man. He don't give a fuck about us, man.
I was hot. But dude, it's like, and I appreciate all my coaches, bro. You know what I mean? Like even when I quit, bro, like, I quit in person and I talked to Steve. And like, we hugged it out and he said a lot of good things. I said some good things for him, but that motherfucker drew me crazy. Just for my last year of basketball, but it's the expectations can drive. I know I've been speaking about like myself or IT's experience, but for athletes in general, the experience is different, but the based on the level. So a lot of these D1, I don't think people understand like the amount of pressure D1 athletes receive, right? Because if we're gonna really start off with just like talking about student athletes, bro, those people like at the top levels, it's insane. And I want to take this moment, on seriousness to like really sit down and really talk about a lot of these athletes. There's been a rise in student athletes at high level committing suicide. And it's because of the expectation, because of the workload. Those who are at play at that high of a level, like, It is their job.
Like, bro, imagine like you gotta play Duke, right? You gotta go play Duke. Then you gotta present in the morning, nigga. You gotta come back, present in like 2 or 3 classes, do a test. Then guess who you gotta play next? You gotta play UConn, nigga. like think about that, bro. Like that shit, that'll drive
And
somebody crazy, fam.
mind you, your coach is on the hot seat. So this nigga's already tweaking. his, his ass is already tweaking. So now it's like, so he just cussing you out every day. You playing against future NBA. You got to play a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you gotta take that shit, fam.
And then you can't. And then out, if we're talking about, let's say basketball, right? This person that we're saying you have to do this and that right now, like this could be like a D2 guy or like a low major D1, right? And then they got to play Duke and they play UConn, right, in 1 week. Because that's how it usually goes at the beginning of the season. This motherfucker probably doesn't have the time to have a job. Also, like, there's NIL, but NIL isn't. It's there, and people make money off of it, but it's not like that for everybody. So like, this dude may not have NIL, so it's really
it's only for like the top 1%, fam. The AJ DeBonstas, the Darius A.
now.
Cuffs.
Come
Like,
on,
you know
now.
what I'm saying? Like that's all it's for real, bro.
Right. So it's like, bro, that shit is stressful, bro. It's stressful, and like I said, like it's unfortunate. Like a lot of student athletes have taken their lives. Now, right now we're just talking about student athletes, but if we want to talk about professional athletes or prodigies, like young prodigies who they get on the, let's say, ball is life scene when they're 5th grade, 6th grade. You know what I mean? And then they don't really pan out. Now they on drugs, you know what I mean? Like that fame at at that young of an age, right, has made them spiral because of that expectation. Like, okay, you're meant to go to the league because you had a good ass mixtape in 6th grade. And then there's professional athletes. We see it all the time. Like we talk about what's his name? Jaden Ivey, right? Now you can go back and forth. Is Jaden Ivey losing his mind, or is he straight up just speaking the truth, and people can debate back and
Religious
forth.
psychosis.
You could say that too, right? Because he's been on his faith journey for a couple years now, but I think there is a aspect of he is losing a bit of his mental, and he does need to get help because we can sit up here and say he's speaking the word, he's speaking the truth, and that's people aren't gonna like it, but at the same time, like his wife's he's basically lost his family, he's lost his job, right? He's going on Instagram rampantly, right? What'd he say? Pistons aren't gonna matter on Judgment Day.
Apple pie is God. God made it. God gave you the mouth, and you gonna eat apple pie and cheeseburgers and fries. Yeah, I mean,
And so-
it's also like in him, calling teammates like he's asking about their experiences and he's judging them based off that. Like, oh, you're not righteous. Oh, you can be righteous, but like, who are you to deem that?
Talking about Steph Curry and shit. Talking about Steph not a real Christian. I'm like
who are you, man? And I mean, another professional athlete that recently committed suicide is Rondell Moore, and I think he was a free agent for a year. He had a bad season where he was dropping a lot of passes, and I mean, there's a clip that went viral after he passed because during a Wednesday practice he dropped the ball, and it seemed he was having a breakdown because he dropped the ball, and the kind of snowball effect into what happened then when he did commit. Like there's an immense pressure on all this, and I think we are aware these are they're privileged problems, of course, but I don't think just because somebody does get fame and get money is a reason for people to kind of not really take in these people having the depression episodes and saying that their mental health doesn't matter. Yeah, but we can go back to coaches, ruining people's health and whatnot. James, seems like you already touched on that. IT man, James told me stories about Steve, our current coach. I heard he's a dickhead. Long story short,
He's a character, man.
he's a character.
He's a
He's a character.
he's a funny guy, bro. Like,
Great
don't
to
get me
talk to.
wrong. Yes. Great to talk
Great
to.
to
You know what I'm
talk
saying?
to.
Like, don't get me
I
wrong.
think
Like,
he's a good dude.
he's a good dude, bro. It's
He'll drive you fucking crazy.
he'll drive you insane. Like, you'll really be sitting there after a game thinking, what the fuck was that? Like, what did we just go through, bro? Like, your brain will be tested, bro. Like, it will be tested. And that's by all coaches, really. What's it called? A good example, the UConn coach. People think he's insane now. People think he's insane for the way he treats his players, but they love him, bro. They love him. Like, that's like a real family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's different players, different people view it different ways. Like, some people, like, I know, let me be in that UConn jersey. I'm taking all the disrespect. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Cuss me out, bro. Cuss me out. Cuss me out. If I'm playing, cuss me out, bro.
Man,
But-
I think all the great coaches are. Man, that motherfucker's crazy, man.
Yeah.
like
Just give it to
Man,
me, bro.
man,
Just give
like
it to
they-
me.
You have,
they
what?
they get that's ridiculous. Give it to me. You for real? I'm. Anyway, bro. We got coaches that will cuss you out, or like that just like are legit crazy, like Joe Mazzulla, or you got coaches that can be crazy in their own way, like when it comes to fucking sports, and they can be like a savant to a sense, like Sean McVay. How are you so obsessed with football that you studying this shit 20 hours a day? Huh? You only get 4 hours of sleep, But I think that's a different type of crazy.
Indeed. But
yeah.
the wrong coach will push you to quit on your own, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like in high school, bro, I had a lot of teammates damn near like at least 7 or 8 teammates, bro. Like, they could have played JUCO. They could have went anywhere. You know what I'm saying? They could have went to play ball, you know what I'm saying, NAIA, D3. But they quit in high school. Like, they just gave up on it because it just didn't see the belief in themselves because their coach didn't. So they just was like, since if I'm not getting no tick here, what am I going to be at the next level? You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to take that chance. And that I could kind of understand, bro. Like, you're not in the position to really do anything for real, like to really go anywhere. So it's like I can understand that, but at the same time, it's like just never let a coach stop you from loving something, bro. Like, that shit, it should come from you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that should be your own decision. It shouldn't be influenced by another person's actions.
Yeah, I mean, but that also goes back to, we touched on this topic a few episodes ago, episode 3s, and revolutionaries and hoodlums. Being young, you're extremely impressionable with people that's older than you. And coaches that are dickheads, you will leave. Like, I mean, you being between the age of 14 and 18, you don't really give a fuck. You will bounce. Me and James, we both went to Anderson High School. I played football, he played basketball, but I've experienced that shit on the football team where our freshman year coach, there was no structure. Motherfuckers was shooting dice in the locker room with the coaches to having fights every practice. And it wasn't no regular, like, pushing and shoving. Motherfuckers was suplexing each other and taking the helmets off and boxing. What are we doing? Then it transferred, like, we get a new coach sophomore year, and we get this real white, living in the nicest area of Fishers. He's a great dude. But super white, living in the nicest area of Fishers. If y'all don't know what Fishers is, it's a suburb of Indianapolis. It's always top 10, on the top 10 list of like best cities in America and safest cities in America. It's from that place. But he goes there and he's super religious and he's trying to have this super structure. There's like, he's coming from a complete opposite standing of what Anderson is, and he's not reaching out to these kids at all. And Anderson already being historically bad at football, these kids are like, well, man, I'm not gonna play for this loser. Like, I'm not playing for him. But I don't even know. Like, one, and we're not gonna win. I don't like him. I can't connect with him. In the amount of times me and my teammates seeing people quit, so then go, sell drugs or go rob people, and that's how they was getting that shit in. At 15, 16, like that shit was crazy. I'm like, bro, pick up the football, because a lot of them were like real good like athletes, man. Like they have potential to go deep, want to play football. Yeah, man. Coaches can affect so much.
Yeah, coaches, it's insane. And I think one thing that I do love about today's like transfer portal is that you don't like the coach or the coach on that bullshit, I'm gone. Right? And it's crazy. It's crazy how, because, when this shit happens and it doesn't go the coach's way, these coaches are always bitching and complaining about transfer portal. But whole time, coaches have been doing it for years. Like, oh, the new job opened up, they offer me? All right, I'll see y'all. The transfer portal's always been a thing for them. So why can't it be for the players? You know what I mean?
Because now the media has caught on to it. That's why, bro. They don't like that shit. That shit is all over Instagram. You see all the top players. Bro, I seen a whole team leave, cuz. A whole team. The whole starting five and like 8 others gone.
And they're like, why are you leaving? Like, you'll have more minutes and more shots next year. I don't like this coach. Coach on that bullshit. Yeah. Now you got to recruit a whole new team. Your team probably going to be ass. Now you fired.
Yeah, I think a lot of coaches just don't know how to coach a newer generation. Now when the older generation will be like, man, these new kids, man, they soft as baby shit, man. And like, just because the coach will, we don't want the coach picking us up by our shirt, getting in our face and throwing us on the ground and calling us a bitch. Come on, you a man first. Like, there's a cultural difference between the ages, and I think coaches are having a hard time realizing that. And I think that's why a lot of people are transferring.
Yeah.
One trait that you have to have to be a successful coach is, can you lead a group of men? Motherfuckers can't do that. Can you rally these men? No. If you can't do that, why are you coach? Yeah, you can draw a fucking unguardable offense or scheme up the best defense known to man. But damn, bro, if you don't know how to talk to a person, why are you coaching? Go be an analyst or something.
Yeah. Like, if you can't get people to buy in, then if you can't have people invest in what you're trying to build, you're cooked. You're cooked. And so,
yeah.
What else can you say? And you see the coaches now at the college level. But shit, dude, I'm seeing it now in high school. Like, high school has its own fucking transfer portal now. Like, I'm not I don't really watch too much Illinois basketball. Not the biggest fan of Illinois basketball, like high school. I definitely still stand that Indiana high school basketball is different, and it's the best. As in, the culture is insane. So I still like to look into Indiana's, especially Central Indiana basketball, and I'm seeing teams like Fishers High School. Like, this is full out recruiting. Like, how are they getting these guys year in and year out? That shit is recruiting. But I guess now it's like they're allowed to do that. And I remember back in the day, you couldn't do that shit. And Drake, you know Phil Washington, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say he was running. He was in charge of the Christmas Addicts program, and that nigga got in trouble for recruiting like years back before he came to Anderson. I want to say, right? But it's when a school with some money, you know what I mean, predominantly, let's say, rich white area start to do recruiting. Oh, it's okay. We might implement some rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's my little rant about that. But I see it in high school all the time. But man, this just turned into an episode about fucking coaches. But
Yeah.
but
Look, they set the
'cause
system and they
coaches
set
would
the
drive
culture.
me
And
crazy.
look, they set the system, they set the culture, and this goes to ties to anything in the world. Whoever sets that system and whoever sets that culture will affect you, whether it's positive or negative.
And you see that coaches now that are like winning these championships or successful, they're adjusting with the generation of kids they're getting. Um, like if we look at the final four teams right now, Michigan, Duke, UConn,
UConn and
what's the
Arizona.
last one? Arizona, right? Bro, those are four programs that their coach has adjusted, right? They have adjusted. Illinois started getting all these Europeans. They have adjusted, right? Okay, you know what? We can get like a top transfer, maybe two top transfers, right? If we get a high school guy, he'll sit the bench for a year or two, right? We're just gonna get all these guys from Europe, and then the rest are gonna be because Europe, those guys are playing professional at 16 years old. So now you have a team full of professional players. UConn, that Coach Hurley, he just understands how to bring the best out of his players, right? And he knows how to get them to buy in. And it's not just the players, it's the coaches as well. Because he cusses the coaches out too. He cusses the players out. And you can tell they take it, bro. They're just okay with it. Because they know that this is going to not only make them better players, but make them better men. And you could say the two other teams. Who else was in there? Arizona. Arizona just gets top talent. They keep a couple guys for a year or two, and now their junior, senior is really good. But then they get some top guys, and they buy in. They buy in, and so. But that can be tough, and a lot of players throughout all the sports, college sports, high school sports, even professional sports. Dude, that shit happens at the professional level. Coaches and players are bitching at each other. But
Yeah. And Nate dude that coached the Pacers back in, I think it was 20.
Nate McMillan?
Nah. But Jorkin or some shit. The ball dude. Goga Batadze got into a fight with him.
Goga?
Yeah, bitch ass Goga Batadze. Man, all right. Well, before we wrap up though, do you guys have any advice when it comes to student athletes dealing with, these pressures or mental health issues, extreme anxiety or anything like that? IT.
No, I just wanted to say, reach out to people, bro. Like, make sure you're surrounded by good people. If it's not your teammates, you know what I'm saying, like that, it may not, not every team is going to be as, well connected as the next, but just talk to people if you are having issues, you know what I'm saying. Make sure you're doing all the right things, you feel me? Taking care of your business, being intentional with your time, and don't let the voices in your head or the people that put your fucking head down, James. Put your head down. Appreciate it. Anyway. Or the coaches, you know what I'm saying? Don't let them influence your decisions. If you want to quit on your own accord. If you don't want to quit, you want to stay hoop, run track, play football. Do that shit to the best of your ability. Give it 100%. Don't give a fuck about what anybody says. Feel me? Yeah.
We hear you. James, what about you, man?
I would say this, man. Your your performances as an athlete do not dictate your impact as a human being. All right, so at the end of the day, we can sit up here and say, "Ball is life, ball is life." It hurts to say, "Ball is not life." Ball is a teacher of life. Your sport is going to teach you about life. You know, whether that is as a player, as a spectator, and as a coach, right? Do not treat this shit as this is the only way to live, right? Because now you treat it like that, you're gonna be a Geeter Center legend. Don't be a Geeter Center legend. And I'm not even gonna add context to that, right? Don't be a Geeter Center legend. All right.
That's the worst.
But no, it's
38th
like
Street Park Hooper.
yeah, like if you want to be a legend, you want your jersey hung up, sure, you know, on 38th Street, that's fine, whatever. But ball is not life. And don't treat it that way. Because when that ball stops bouncing, that's the thing. A sport, they always say, like, dribble the ball or guard the ball like it's your girlfriend. You know what I mean? You've never heard of that. Where it's like
Nah.
you're dribbling the ball. You're dribbling the ball, and like a nigga take your shit, right?
Nah.
And then the coach be like, "Bro, dribble that shit like it's your girlfriend, right? Because now you get off my girlfriend, man."
Nah, I didn't hear like protected like it's food on your table. Like that's
It's the same thing. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Analogy.
Right?
Protected legs.
It's the same thing. But so why is it like, oh, your girl going? She
All right.
she. Okay, my fault.
Get your move. Come
like-
on, bro.
But like, what I'm getting at is like that ball is gonna stop bouncing, whether it's the sport itself gives up on you, or your body gives up on you, right? That shit's gonna stop, right? And you have to adjust. So my biggest thing is treat basketball. Not basketball. This is for all sports. Treat ball as it is a teacher of life, and it is not life itself. Number two, have fun with it, bro. Have fun, bro. It's like I was talking to IT the other day about this. Last year was the first year, like, I was damn near like I was in and out of the rotation. I was a bench warmer. Some games I played 15, 20 minutes, and then some games, I go on a streak of 3 games, didn't play. 4 games, didn't play. All right, or some games I played 2 minutes. And these games where I was playing 20 minutes, I knew, like, shit, I might not play the next 2 games. So if I hit a 3, I started spamming celebrations. And it was fun to me, right? Because it's like, I don't know when's the next time I'm going to hit one. But then also, like, in practices, like, I went into practices to just have fun. Because, like, shit, I might not play. So, like, let me just go in here, bust some ass, have fun while doing it. And I wish that high school and JUCO and my time at Aurora University, like, every day I went in to have fun. I wish I did, but something that I learned in my last year, just always have fun, bro. Have fun with your sport. Because you're going to, you're blessed enough to get old enough, you're going to look back and it's so much better to remember those days where you had fun. Last year was by far nowhere near my most successful year as an athlete, but I went in more days than not to just go and have fun, and it's like one of my favorite seasons. So that's really about it for me. Just have fun and, just use it as an experience to learn. And, yeah, and show up for each other. People are taking their own lives because of sports. So show up for one another, please. Love each other. It's something that's very serious. It's unfortunate. It's sad. And it's not just, I know we talked about a lot of basketball, but it's not just a basketball thing. It's across all sports, and it's not just a man thing. A lot of women are taking their own lives because of sports. More often than not, I think it's a lot of college women. So show up for one another, support each other, and just love one another.
Yeah, man. So like, yeah, hey, like they said, man, make sure you be have intent, have fun, be open, even if it's hard to. You find someone that you can trust and speak to, even if you don't, man. At least jot it into a journal. You got to get out what's in you. But I do want to appreciate everyone who made it this far and who has tuned into the previous episodes. If you guys have any feedback or questions, leave a comment. You find us on Soft Black Man on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and appreciate y'all, man. See y'all in the next pod.